Hey there everyone, what's up? This is Aram here, and today we are going to complete our Golden Horse Publishing Company project. So if you guys are following me and if you guys have watched this the previous video, to part 1 of this video, you know that we have finished, we have done until this most selling books item, until this section. And today we are going to work for the next section, which is testimonial. And then we have a new release section where we are going to use the tabs, and then a contact section with a map and a contact form, and then we have a footer. So let's move on to the editor and start coding this testimonial section. And I'm going to give the link of part 1 in the description below. And yes, I do have a Facebook page. If you guys join the Facebook page, I'm sure that you will get some new things over there, where I'm posting the articles, helpful articles from different resources, and I'm going to update the new project, what we are going to do in the future. Okay, so if you guys like the page, it will be good for both of us, for you, for me, and that I can give you the updates, and plus I'm going to share the articles. You are going to learn the things from different other resources. So I'm going to give the link in the description below, so go and hit the link of the Facebook page and join it. Okay, then let's move on and start working on this section. So first of all, let me remove. I'm working within the same folder, the same file, index.html. Publishing was my folder, and index.html is the file we were working in. And this is the last section, selling section. We have already done with this one. So now let's go with the testimonial one. So here is the testimonial section, and yes, this is the last static page. From next tutorial or from next video, you guys are going to have a JavaScript project, and I'm trying to do my best to share the best code, the best projects with you guys, which will be helpful for you in the future, or in your present life or project, whatever, or in your present studies. Okay, so I'm going to, from the next video, we are going to start a JavaScript, no more static work. Okay, so let's start the section element, and I would like to assign it an ID. The ID is going to be testimonial. Then I would like to have a class. The class is going to be margin top 5, padding top 3, and padding bottom is going to be 5. These are the Bootstrap classes, and the if you know, again, if you are following me, then you know that it's a Bootstrap project. Okay, then we have to go with the division, assigning it a class. The class is going to be container. Let's have another division, assigning it a class. This class is going to be raw. Then another division, assigning it a class, and this class is going to be column, medium 12. And then we have to go with the heading 2. This is again Bootstrap class, grid division for, or we can say the breakpoint. And then we have to go with the class. The class is going to be text header, and padding bottom is going to be 2. Let's add the title of this section, which is testimonial. Now let's have a division again, assigning it a class, column, medium 4, and column, small for means on medium devices and on small devices. It's declaring the breakpoints for different devices. And then I want to go with the division, assigning it a class. This class is going to be text box. Then let's have a p element, and let's go with some lorem ipsum, and let me go with some 10 words. Okay, let me bring it here. Then we have to go with a division again, assigning it a class. This class is going to be text info, and text info is going to have a anchor tag. The link is I'm not going to define, but there should be an image. The source of the image is going to be images, and my image name is test.jpg, and then let's assign it a class. This class is going to be image fluid to keep the image responsive, and then let's have a alt. As usual, I'm not going to mention the alt, but it is necessary and a good SEO practice. And heading 3, let's name it John Doe, and then after, actually let's use the Doe in span element. Okay, let's save it, move on to the browser, and let's see what's going on. So here is our publishing company, and I've saved it right. And let me check, let me refresh the page. Okay, so here is John Doe, image, text. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I just want to copy and paste the same thing for a couple of times. So save it. Okay, and let me have it again. So we have the testimonial, the HTML of this testimonial is done. Now let's start styling it. So for styling, let's go to the main.css. Here is our main.css, and let me testimonial. And you know what, okay, let's start from here and copy this, paste it here. Let's say end of testimonial. Now let's get the text box class, where background is going to be, the background I want to have is F0C78156. Okay, then let's go with the padding, 14 pixels and 24 pixels. Then we have to go with the margin bottom, and it is going to be 20 pixels. So here, then we have to go with the box shadow, and the box shadow is going to be 3 pixels, 3 pixels, and then 2 pixels, 0, and let's use the RGBA, which is going to be 0, 0, 0, and 0.18. Then we have to go with the position. Is going to be relative. Let me check something. I think I need to, let me check something in my margin. Like I think that I'm just confusing something in my code. Let me check that the text box is here, and the info image, and this one. Okay, until now it's clear, but I just read something, just kind of came into my mind just to see that. But okay, that's okay. Now let's go with the text info link, where display is going to be block, and width for this is going to be 50 pixels. Then we have to go with the height. Height would be again 50 pixels. Background color. This background color again is going to be FC07816. I think F0C78156. Okay. And then we have to go with the border radius. Border radius, and the radius is going to be 50%. This is then we have to use a float, actually float, and the float is going to be, we want it to float towards left, left float properties, and then we have to go with the margin right, and the margin right is going to be 10 pixels. Let's see what's going on here. Okay. The border should be border radius 50%. It's not working yet. We'll see this. Okay. Then we have to go with the link, and now we have to hold on. Okay. Let's go with the image. Now we have to give the border of this image. Okay, so the image border, let's have a text info and tag an image, and then we have to go with the border radius, and this is going to be 50%. Okay, let's save it here in the browser. Okay, it is. There is a border there. Okay, so it is 50%. Then let me bring it here. Let me copy the same class, pasting it here using heading 3, and the heading 3 is going to have a display inline block, and the line height I would like to go with 22 pixels, and then we have to go with the font weight, and font weight is going to be, let's go with 600, and then let's have a color. Color is going to be black. Margin top, this is going to be 8 pixels. Okay, I'm going to copy this selector, pasting it here, and I'm targeting the span element. So the span element is going to have a display. This display is going to be block. Then the line height is going to be 35 pixels, and then we have to go with the font weight. Font weight for this is going to be 300. And let me bring it here, and let's use the text box pseudo element after. I just need to check something. Okay, so I'm targeting this text box class right now. So after is going to have a content, and I'm sorry, The content is not going to have anything. This one is for this, there is a slight a kind of a it's a kind of a bubble or a call out. So this call out has a style, so we are coding for this one. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but it's very little, and it is here. The color is also very light. And then we have to go with the position, and in position here I would like to use absolute. And then we have to go with width and height. So width is going to be 0 and the height is also going to be 0. Then border style. So border style is going to be solid. Border color. Border color, we would like to go with the transparent. Border left 0. Then we have to go with the bottom. Bottom is going to be minus 40 pixels, and the left for this is going to be 56 pixels. Then we have to go with the border top. Border top color, and again I would like to go with let's go with the main color. Okay, and then we have to go with the border width. Border width, it is going to be 20 pixels. Okay, let's save it and move on to the browser. So this is what we are working on. Okay, so now here in this project, actually it's very light, the color is same, so it's very light, just for your convenience to see, just for you guys that you can see it properly. I've just changed the color. Okay, now what we have to do next is we have to go with again text box. Let me copy this and let's paste it here with the pseudo property before. Okay, that we have done for after, and now we are going to do it before. Same, the content, and then we are not going to assign any kind of property to the content, but the position is going to be absolute. Then here we have to use the transform, and the transformation is going to be rotate, and it should rotate to 45 degrees. Then we have to go with the width, which would be 0. Height is also going to be 0. Then we have to go with the bottom, and the bottom here is going to be minus 30. Over there it was 40, and here it is going to be minus 30 pixels. Then we have to go with the left, and the left is going to be 45 pixels. And the border style is solid. So where is that border? Here is the border style. I'm just copying it, pasting it here. And then we have a border width, and the border width here is 20 pixels, but I would like to change it to 15 pixels. So let's change it, and it is going to be 15. Then the border color, border top, here it is going to be the border color only, the transparency. So I want to maintain the same transparency here. Let me paste it here. And then we have to go with the z index here. Z index is going to be -1, and then we have to go with the box shadow, and we are going to go with 3 pixels. Then -13 pixels, 5 pixels, 0 pixels, RGBA, 0, 0, 0, and 0.18. And then we have to go with border left. So border left is 0. Let's save it. Okay, so you guys can see that nice kind of a call out is here. So this is our testimonial section. I've I didn't use too much text, so that's why the height is a bit smaller. Here I've used the text could be of more than 10 lines. So we have done with our testimonial section, and yes, it is also responsive. We will check the responsiveness at the end of this project. Now we have to go and work with this new release section, the tab section. So here we are in the index.html, and let me remove these spaces, this one also, and here we are. So now what we have to do next is we have to work with the tab section actually. So let me have a comments. So let's say tabs section, and then we have to go with the end of tabs section. So within these lines I need some room. First of all, I would like to go with the section element, assigning it a class, and what I'm doing here, sorry, hold on, here, section element, assigning it a class. The class is going to be new background or tabs background. It should be specific, but I don't know why I'm not so specific here. And then padding bottom, it is going to be 5. Then division, assigning it a class, and this class is going to be container, and then we have to use a division again, assigning it a class, and this class is going to be section title, and then after let's have a heading 2 and assigning it a class, and this class is going to be text center, and then we have to go with the text color, which is going to be text white. And here let's say new release. Okay, I'm just this is for the new released books, so let's say new released books. Okay, and then we have to go with the P and actually paragraph, and then we have to assign it a class. The class is going to be text center, and the text is going to be white. Then we have to say that latest in the market. Okay, then we have to have a, let me have a comment here, division, assigning it a class. The class is going to be raw. Okay, so after this let's have a division, assigning it a class, and this class is going to be column large 3, and then we have to go with the unordered list and assigning it a class nav, and nav tabs, so it's a Bootstrap class. Okay, so then flags, and I have used these tabs in many of the projects, in many of previous projects, if you guys, and I've used them in a different way. This is another style, so if you guys are interested in learning this, please follow any of the previous project. Like I have used this in one of the Green World. There is an NGO project, Green World, and then I've used the tabs in Coffee project, and there is an e-commerce project in that also I've used this one, these tabs, and here is the 4th project in which I'm using the tabs, but in different way. I think that in all the projects I've used the tab styles of in a different way. Almost all kind of possibilities I have covered, that how we can use them. So if you are interested in learning these tabs, how we can do this in different ways, then you can concern in any of the projects. Okay, Coffee, Green World, e-commerce, and this one is book publishing. Okay, so flex column. Then after we have to go with the list item and assigning it a class. This class is going to be nav item. Then we have a link and assigning it a class. This class is going to be nav link, and then the first one is going to be active, and it has to be shown, so active and show. Then I have to use a toggle, data toggle, data toggle, and then we have to say tab, and here I would like to go with href, which is here it should be tab 1. Okay, so from this we are going to target the tabs. Then here let's use some heading. So the first one is going to be lorem ipsum 1, and then what I'm going to do, I just want to copy and paste it for several times. But first of all, what I'm going to do, let me just copy this one, paste it here, and from here I don't want to have the active and show classes here, and then in place of the tab 1 I would like to change it to tab 2, and then we have to change this lorem ipsum 2. Okay, so the nav item, the nav link, okay, data toggle, let me get it, put it here, so I think then it would be easier for you to understand what's going on. Yep. And then here is the tab 2, and then the lorem ipsum 2. Let me save it. Okay, so we do have 2 tabs. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy and paste this one. Okay, so let me copy this one and paste it. Okay, so I just want to change the numbers. This one is going to be 3, and this is also going to be 3, and then this one and this one is going to be 4, and this one, sorry, and this one is going to be 5. Let's save it. So we should have 5 tabs. Yes, we do have 5 tabs here. Okay, now this is what we have done with for this section. Now we have to go and create this one. So when we click on the tabs, they are going to get the target data. Okay, so here it is finished. Now we have to go with another division, assigning it a class, and this class is going to be column LG9, and then we have to say margin top is going to be 5, then margin top large, for large devices it is going to be 0. Then we have to go with another division, assigning it a class, and this class is going to be tab content, the data of the of each tab. So then you have to go with the tab and assigning it a class, and this class is going to be tab pen, and it is the first one for show, active and show. And then we have to use the ID, and here I'm using these IDs, okay, these href IDs. So the first ID we have assigned was tab 1, and it should be in the quotes. Okay, then we have to go with another division, assigning it a class. This class is going to be raw. Okay, and we have to go with another division, assigning it a class. This class is again going to be column large 8, and then details, details, and then we have to place an order. So it's not e-tails, it's details. Okay, I'm going to use this details class in the CSS, and order is going to be 2, and then I want to have an other order on large devices is going to be 1. Okay, then we have to go with the heading 3, and heading 3 is going to be lorem ipsum 1. Okay, and let's have a p element with a class, and this class is going to have a font italic, and then I would like to go with some lorem ipsum could be of 30 words. That's it. And then you know what, I am just thinking to go with 2 paragraphs. Okay, let's go with 1, no problem, just to make you guys understand the use and the concept of this section. Then you have to go with the division, assigning it a class, and this class is going to be column large 4. Then we have to use a text center, and we have to say order 1, and then order large devices is going to be 2. This is, we are talking about the placement. Okay, the order I'll explain you. Then we have to go with the image. The source of the image is going to be images, and then we have an image in my folder, so I just want to go with the books.jpg, and then we have to use the alt. As usual, I'm not using anything in here, and then alt image fluid to keep it responsive. Okay, then we have to, let's save it, and let me go back to the publishing company. So here is for the first one. Okay, lorem ipsum, and then we have, now we have to go with the other tabs. So what I'm going to do, let me just, okay, I just need to, actually, you know what, I want to, let me type, because then I have to work again. Let's have another division, assigning it a class, and this class is going to be tab pen, and then we have to use an ID again. This ID is going to be the tab 2, and we have to use a division, assigning it a class, raw, and then we have to go with another division, assigning it a class, and this class is going to be column large 8, and again details, then order, and here the order is going to be 2, and then again order large 1, and let's have heading 3 here, and for heading 3 we have to go with the lorem ipsum 2, and then we have to say that we should go with the font. The p element font is going to be italic, and then we have to use some lorem ipsum 30 words, and then after we have to go with a division, assigning it a class, and this class is going to be column lg4, text is going to be center, and then order is going to be 1, then we have to go with order lg2, and then we have to use the image, the source is going to be images, and this time I'm going to use books books 2 and this image here, and then we have to go with the class is going to be image fluid, alt is nothing in my case, and let's save it. Let me show you. Okay, so this is lorem ipsum 1, and when I click on it, we have a lorem ipsum 2. So these two tabs are working because we link them. Now we have to do with all these three. And right now, I'm just thinking to copy this from here to here. Let's copy this and paste it here. And now let me check some of the things. First of all, this tab 2 is going to be tab 3. This lorem ipsum is also going to be 3. And this one is same. Order is going to be same. And then we have to go with the text. So the text, the image. And the order for the image is order 1 and then order 2. Okay, now again I'm pasting the actually image should be changed here. So here I would like to change the image. It is going to be not books 3, it is only book 3. Okay, and let me paste the same code here. Let's save it and let's change the tab and the title. So the tab is going to be tab 4, and here the title is also going to be 4. And let me check the order. So order 2 LG and order 1, and then we have to go with this one is also same here, and again the image, I just want to go with books image, save it. First of all, let's check here how it is working here. 2, 3, 4. Okay, and now we have to go with the last one, the 5th one. So for the 5th one, again pasting the same, and here the books are going to be same, but we have to change the title 5, and then we have to change the tab also. So in place of tab 2, it is going to be tab 5. Let's save it, and here we are. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so great. We have done with the tab section. Now we have to work with the CSS of this tab section to style it, to make it look better. Okay, so here we are, main.css, and here let's remove these extra spaces. Then we have to save it, and we have to go with the new released section. So new released section, and the new released section is let's use end of new released section. So end of new released section, and then we have to write our code here. So first of all, I would like to get the background, and the background spelling is wrong. So background, and the background is going to be the background is going to have a background, and the background for this I'm going to use black, because let me check. Yep, now it is here. Then we have to go with the new class. If you guys remember, I told you that we have to use this one, and here let's say the overflow is going to be hidden, and then we have to use the tabs, nav tabs, so new, and then we have a nav tabs where the border is going to be 0. Oops. Okay, then we have to use the nav links, so nav links, sorry, not links, and then we have to go with the border. Border is going to be 0. We do have padding 12 pixels, and then we have 15 pixels. Let's use the transition, and the transition is going to be 0.3 seconds. Then we have to use the color, so the color is going to be white. Border radius, and it is going to be 0. Then we have to use border right, border right, and 2 pixel solid, and let's use the mean color variable, and then we have to go with the font weight. So font weight is going to be let's use the 600 again, and then font size, so the font size for this is going to be 15 pixels. Okay, now let me copy the same class selector, and here, let me copy this again, sorry, just copy this, paste it here, and I would like to go with the hover, and the color for this hover is going to be main color, and then we have to go with the active link. So we do have a active link, and the active class is going to be color. It is going to have a color of 1814, and then we have to go with the background, and the background is again going to have a main color. Then we have to go with the border color, and it is also going to be main color. Let's save it and let's see. Okay, so we do have a border, and that's looking nice. Things are working. I'm copying this selector, pasting it here, and this time we would like to work with the border color, and it is also going to have a main color. Then we have to go with the new tab, new class, then with the tab pen, and first of all we would like to go with the active class, and let's have an animation, and the animation is going to be fade in 0.5 seconds, ease out, and now we have to go with the details. So new, and remember I told you that we are going to use the details, P element, and the color for this is going to be gray, and let me bring it here. So we have to go with details, and let's use the pseudo element last child, and okay, and where we have to use the margin bottom is going to be 0. Let's save it, and I think I need to change this color. It shouldn't be gray, it should be white. Yep. And I think I made a mistake here. Let me check that. In the heading 3, let's say heading 3 class is going to have a text white. A moment please, I'm just checking something. Okay, so tab heading 3 is not NFP element, so let me check. I just want it to be shown as white, so why I cannot see this. Have I got this is going to be white first of all. Let me check. Okay, now I would like to go with heading 3, and I think I didn't get this, so let's use here a class just to check something, and then text right, and in heading 5. Okay, so we do have, so what I'm going to do, I just want to add this text white in all heading 3, so here, and I'm going to press the Alt key to make the changes all together, and then I want to make I want to select this one, and where's the last one? This one is here. Okay, so let's have a class text white. Let's save it and let's see. Okay, so the tab section is working nicely. So we have done with this one too. Okay, and I'll show you the responsiveness. It is responsive, don't worry about it. Here I've used 2 paragraphs. One is here and another one is here, but over there I just used only 1 paragraph. Okay, P element. If you guys want more, you can add. Now the next thing we are going to do is let's add this map. So for this, let's go back to the browser. Editor, and here first of all let me remove these extra spaces, and okay, let's go with the map and contact section. Then you have to say end of, I'm just saying contact section. Okay, contact section. Need some room here. First of all, I would like to go with the section element again. So the section is going to have a class, and this class is going to be contact and margin top 5. Then we have to go with the division, assigning it a class. The class is going to be container, and then we have to go with another division, assigning it a class, and this class is going to be section title. Then we have to go with heading 2, and heading 2 is going to have a class. The class is going to be text center. Okay, then let's have a contact, and the title is going to be contact, and then we have to go with some P element, assigning it a class. The class is going to be text center. Okay, and here we have to use some lorem ipsum, could be 5 words. That's all. with this one. So first of all, let me show you. Not here, here. Okay, so we do have a contact and some dummy text. Now we have to embed we have to copy the code from Google Maps, and for this you guys have to go to Google Maps. Here I am going to use the Google Maps, and let me add the address of Sao Paulo and pizzeria. So mine is in Portuguese, but from here you have to click on this, and here they are saying that you have to get the code from this one, like you have to copy the code from here. Okay, I'm just going to copy this HTML from here. I'm going to paste it here. So let me go with the division, and within this division I just copied and pasted the code. I pasted the code, sorry, which I have copied from Google Maps. Okay, and then what we have to do next is let's use the width of this. The width of this is going to be 100%. Height is going to be 350 pixels, and then I want to say that the frame border is 0, style border, and here full screen is going to be allowed and ARIA is going to be false. Tab index is 0, and that's all. Let me save it and show you here in this one. Okay, so here we have you have to type your location. Here it's not my location, I just type some random location of pizza shop, so from Sao Paulo, so you guys can add according to your requirement. And I have in one of the previous projects I have used it, so if you are following me, you know how we can, and if you are new, I'm sure that you understand this process. Okay, now we have to work with the contact form. So we have embedded a kind of embedding. We have embedded a map here in our page. So the next thing is what we have to do, division, assigning it a class, and this class is going to be container. Okay, then we have to add another division, assigning it a class, and this class is going to be raw margin top 5. Then we have to go with another division, assigning it a class. This class is going to be column large 4, and then we have to go with the division, assigning it a class, and this class is going to be info, and we do have to use the division, assigning it a class. This class is going to be address. Then we're going to use some font or some icons. VS FA map marker alt, and then we have to go with heading 4 here, and heading 4 is going to have a location. Then let's use the P element, some let me say lorem ipsum street, and Sao Paulo, and SP, it's a zip, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, then we have to add an other division, assigning it a class. This class is going to have open hours, And here, let's see, class VRFA clock. It's a font awesome icon. And then after this, we have to go with the heading 4, where the open hours are going to be in the P element, and Monday to Saturday, then we have to use a break tag. Then after, we have to say that the timings are going to be 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. Hold on. Let's save it and let's see. First of all, let me close this one. Okay. Location and opening hours or open hours. And then we have to go with another division. Assigning it a class is going to be email. Then we have to go with the font awesome icon. Class is going to be FA envelope, and then we have to go with the heading 4, and let me bring it here. Okay, and then we have to go with the heading 4 again. Heading 4 is going to have an email, and then we have to go with the P element. So P element is going to have info@example.com. Then after this, we have to go with another division, assigning it a class, and this class is going to be font. Then we have to say font awesome icon class FA font. Okay, and heading 4 is going to have a call, so let's have a call. And then we have to go with the P element, and let's use the number. It's Brazil's number. Let's use São Paulo number. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, and here we go. Okay, now we have to create a form here. So this form, and for this form I have to go back. Another division, assigning it a class, and this class is going to be column LG8 MT5 margin top 5. Then margin top large devices is going to be 0. And then we have to use the form element. Then within this form element, let's use the division, assigning it a class. The class is going to be form raw. And then we have to go with another division, assigning it a class, and this class is going to be column medium 6 form group, and the form group is going to have an input element. The type of this input element is going to be text. Then we have to use the name, and it is going to be name. And well, let me put it here. Let's use a class. The class is going to be form control, and an ID is going to be name, and it should be within the quotes. Okay, and we have to use a placeholder. So placeholder is going to be your name. Then after we have to use another division, and this division is going to have a class. This class is going to be column, medium, 6, then form group, form control, and we have to use a name. The name is going to be email, and then we have to use an ID. So the ID is going to be email, and then let's use a placeholder. Placeholder is going to be your email. Okay, and your email is, let's close it. And then after we have to go with another division. I think there was a mistake. Let me check. Okay, so this should have your email. The placeholder is not showing here. Why? The placeholder, and it's your email. ID is email. I don't know why it's not showing the placeholder. I don't think that I have made any mistake here. Let me check. Division, form control. It's not form control, it is form group. I'm sorry. Email, form group, and I do need to use the input element. What the heck I have done here? Sorry. Let's do this again. So my apologies for this. Actually, again, I'm really sorry. I have to do this again, because despite correcting my mistake, it's better to do it again. Division, assigning it a class. The class is going to be column, medium, 6, and then form group. And then we have to use the input element here. Input, and the type of this input is going to be email, and then we have to use a class. The class is going to be form control, and then we have to use name. The name is going to be email, again an ID. ID is going to be email, and now we have to use a placeholder. So the placeholder for this is going to be your email. This is how we can do this one. Oops. Okay, so now it's looking nice. Now we have to move on, and let's use another division, assigning it a class, and this class is going to be form group. So form group, and then we have to use input element. The type of this input element is going to be text, and then we have a class here. The class is going to be form control, and the name is going to be subject, and we have to say should be an ID. There should be an ID, and then the placeholder. Let me add the placeholder here. Placeholder, and the placeholder for this is going to be subject. Okay. Then again, another division, assigning it a class. This class is going to be form group, and let's use the text area, where the class is going to be form control, and then we have to use the name. Name is going to be message. Let's use rows, and there should be 8 rows. And then let's have a placeholder. The placeholder is going to be message. Text area is closed. Let's use, first of all, let's see here. Okay, we need a button here, the submit button or the send message button, and then we will code for this footer also, and all together we will fix them in CSS. Okay, we'll style them all together. So then we have to go with the division here, assigning it a class text center, and we have to go with the button element, and the type of this is going to be submit, and let's say send message. Save it. Not this one. Here we are. Okay, now let's code for the footer also, so then we can style everything all together. Okay, so here I'm not going with the comments, just with the footer element. Let's have an ID. ID is going to be footer, assigning it a class. The class is going to be margin top 3, and let's use the division, assigning it a class. The class is going to be raw. Then we have to use another division, assigning it a class. This class is going to have a, you know what, I've made a mistake, but let me fix it here. It is going to be raw, and this one is going to be container. Okay, and within this raw class, let's have another division, assigning it a class, and this class is going to be column medium 12. Okay, and then we have to go with another division, assigning it a class, and this class is going to be copyright. Okay, and then we have to say that, let's use ampersand copy semicolon for the copyright sign, and here it is going to be copyright, and then we have to use a strong element, and this strong element is going to be golden horse, and then we have to say that, not this one, sorry, not a class, all rights reserved, and blah blah blah. Then we have to say division, assigning it a class. The class is going to be credit, and then we have to go with designed by you and me. So let's see, Lorem Ipsum. Okay, let's save it, move on to the browser, and let's see. Okay, so now we have to go to the main.css and start styling everything from contact form to this footer. Okay, so I'm not going to use the comments here. Let me just go with the contact, and then info class, where the width is going to be 100%. Let me have a glass of water. Now I would like to copy this selector, paste it here, and the font awesome icons. So the font size is going to be 20 pixels. Let's use the float property, which is going to be left. Then we have to use the width. Width is going to be 44 pixels. Then we have to go with the height, and height is spelling of the height. Height is going to be again 44 pixels. Then we have to use the background, and I'm using the main color. And then I'm going to want to use the display. Let's use flex, and then we have to go with the justify content, and it's going to be center. Then we have to use align items, and they are also going to be center. And then we have to say border radius, and where is the radius? Border radius is going to be 50 pixels. And then we have to go with the transition here. Just a minute, transition, and spelling of the transition. Okay, transition of 0.3 seconds is in out. And then I do have the same selector here. Okay, first of all, let me show you what's going on here in the browser. So okay, so icons are looking nice. Why I cannot see this icon? We'll check info, and then we have to say that heading 4, where the padding is going to be 0, 0, 0, and then 60 pixels. And then we have to use the font size. So the font size is going to be 18 pixels, and we have to go with the font weight. Let's use 500, and then we have to go with 400. Let's use 400. Hold on, let me check something here. And 400, 500. I do have 500, so let's use. I thought that I don't have, but I do have 500. And I'm going to use a margin bottom, and margin bottom is going to be 5 pixels. Then we have to go with the P element, again padding, and 60 pixels, and I have to use not brackets. Okay, 60 pixels, and then we have to go with the margin bottom. Margin bottom is going to be 0. Let's use the font size, which is going to be 14 pixels, and the color I would like to use black. Okay, let's save it. Here is the browser. Okay, it's looking nice, but now we have to do something else, and that something else is contact info class. Then we have to use the open hours class. Let's use the info email, and then again let's use the font, and margin top 40 pixels. Now let's see. Okay, before everything was very it was congested, but now it looks great. Now we have to use the contact button, and the type of this button is submit. Okay, where we have to say that the background is going to be CDA45E. Then we have to use a border, which is going to be 0. Then we have to use padding 10 pixels and 35 pixels. Let's use the color. It's going to be black, and transition 0.4 seconds. Let's use the border radius, which is going to be 50 pixels. Let's save it, and let's have a hover for this button. So what I'm going to do, let me copy this one, paste it here. Let's use the hover, and the background is going to be D3A5F71, D3AF71. Let's save it, move on to the browser, and let's see. Okay, so when I hover over it, it has a slight change. Now let's start styling this footer section, which is going to be here. Let's say footer, and the footer is going to have a background. Footer background is black. Let's use padding. Padding is going to be 30 pixels, 0. Color for this is going to be white. And then footer, copyright class. Let's align the text to the center, and let's have the footer credits now. So footer credit, not spelling credit, where they are going to be, it's going to have padding top 10 pixels, and text align is going to be center. Font size is going to be 13 pixels. Color for this is going to be white. Let's save it, move on to the browser, and let's see. Okay, so we have finished our Golden Horse Publishing Company project. I think that you guys like it. Let's check the responsiveness of this, and yes, this is the last project of static work. From the next one, upcoming video, we are going to start JavaScript, the dynamic projects. I hope that you guys will like those projects. Let's overview this one, and then we'll check the responsiveness of this. So we have done all these things in the first section or in the previous video. Here is the today's work. So testimonial, the tab sections, and you guys already have seen that they are working. Then the contact section, and with the map, form, button, and the footer. Let's check the responsiveness now. So let me go directly to the, okay, so here from the beginning, okay, title, search, and the social icons, the menu, working, then great, books, okay, about us section, most selling section. Then we have to go with, we have a testimonial section, new released, the tabs are click over it, you can see it's working. Contact, map, other details, form, button, and nice footer. I hope that you guys like this. If so, don't forget to subscribe the channel, hit the like button if you like this video. I'll see you in the next one with some dynamic projects using JavaScript. Until that, hasta la vista. Ciao, ciao.